All right, all right, all right. Peace, fam. I hope you guys are doing good. Happy Friday. I almost had to pause for a second. I was like, is it Friday? Child, I got these days mixed up. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope your week has been going well so far. Don't know if you guys have plans for the weekend, but I had a little bit of time, so I was like, let me get on here and talk some shit. um, talk about a few topics and then get out of here. So I'll probably be talking about some things that I don't usually talk about anymore on my live. It's going to be a little bit of a mix and a match. I'll be talking about some things that I've come across reading in articles, and I'll also be talking about some of the mess that I see child on the streets. Now y'all know I don't watch everybody, so you'll just have to bear with me with the reporting that I have. But what have I been? There's quite a few things that I've watched recently that I'm like, no, 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 no. This is ridiculous. And I want to say some things. Some people might get mad as usual. They always get mad in their feelings, but the reality is we all have an opinion. So let's see. We'll wait and see if more people come in before we get into the YouTube streets mess. But I wanted to share a very quick thoughts on Monique first. And I'm not going to go into it long because I know y'all probably sick and tired of hearing about Monique. But I have a different perspective on things because I feel like now I have mixed feelings about the Monique situation. When Monique first came out years ago and was like, y'all need to cancel your Netflix because we're black and we're all black. And, even though I'm making way more money than most of y'all, cut off your Netflix for me. I understood what she was trying to say. It was wrong that they weren't, as a black woman, she wasn't getting paid as she should. So I supported her in that sense, but I felt like it was a bit much to come out here asking, you know, black people at large just to quit Netflix for her. So anyway, but since then, a lot of stuff has come out. She also had said things about Tyler Perry and Oprah. And recently she was on Shannon Sharp's show, Club Shay Shay, right? And she talked about a lot of things. I didn't see the whole interview, but I did watch part of it. And she did bring up, I think Shannon asked her about her son, her eldest son. And he has since come out and made a response, which has set a lot of things off. And it had her coming out here looking like super crazy. So, first, let me say this: I don't feel like Monique is being given a fair shake. Yes, I do think as a mom, she was dead wrong. How do you give up like your child for your career? That's messed up. Like never. So she was wrong, but she admitted that. She admitted that at the time she wanted to prioritize her career. So I don't really see how people are popping her because she knows what she did was wrong. The only thing I think is that she should make amends with her son, but it's sometimes things aren't that easy. But I feel like people aren't giving Monique the same energy they're giving Cat Williams, and here's why I say this. Cat Williams, I love Cat Williams. He's actually one of my favorite like black comedians. Like love Cat Williams. Way before the Shannon Sharp stuff, I really like watching him and listening to him. But Cat Williams, even though he dropped a whole bunch of gold nuggets and he made a lot of great points, he has a past as well. Cat Williams has been accused of domestic violence. Cat Williams has had other things like other people accuse him of things. And I feel like after the Club Shay Shay interview, people didn't want to hear that. They didn't want to hear it. And I'm gonna say because I was one of the people, not Cat. Oh, but it's like no, he did do other things. I think Hazel E is one of the people that she talked about the good things about him, but she also talked about some of his issues in a relationship and how he behaves, and people didn't even want to talk about that. So how can you go from not wanting to hear about Cat Williams' shortcomings to oh my gosh, Monique ain't shit. She's a bitch. Like I heard so many people calling her so many names, and I'm like, y'all did not call Cat Williams none of these names. Y'all didn't call Cat Williams none of these names when negative stories came out about him. Y'all just looked the other way. And so I'm saying all this to say that even though a lot of things Monique says is cringy, like calling her partner daddy, what kind of incestuous shit is that? It's weird and disgusting. Even though there's things I can't get on board with Monique. Hey Ben, thanks for being here. Okay, love, no problem. Thank you for popping in anyway. Shout out to Binge. it's like, why are y'all going so hard on Monique as a black woman? Like I said, I didn't see people do this for Cat Williams. And Cat Williams, though I like him and though he dropped a lot of gold nuggets, he also has things in his past that are shady. And I just feel like mad people swooped in on Monique. And here's the reason why I'm mad at that. It's not just because she's a woman, but at the end of the day, what Monique originally said was true. She was like, look, they're not giving us a fair shake. They're not paying us what we need to be paid. And I feel like this whole narrative about her and her son has overshadowed her original point. This is how I feel like it's overshadowed that to the point that, you know, people are forgetting that Tyler Perry and Oprah is out here, allegedly dealing people dirty. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what y'all think. I don't know how you feel about it, but that's how I see it. I just feel like it's real easy to whoop on Monique. And yes, Monique is annoying because of the stuff that she says. Like I said, daddy this and he's raising me. The stuff she says is so cringe. So cringe. But I just think like I don't know what it is. Sometimes when I hear people go in on other women, I'm not saying that Monique shouldn't be criticized but like some of the we just go hard. I just feel like we go a lot harder on women than men. And Cat Williams was not held accountable. I only saw a few people do videos about Cat Williams' past, and everybody else just wanted to laud him and praise him, and you know, y'all didn't do that. So I just think that's wrong. That being said, Monique needs to get it together. Okay, I heard mad people saying, she hate baby and everybody but her son, her son. Now, the other issue with Monique is I think her husband is very much problematic. Like he seems like he pulls a lot of strings. Um, it's just very weird. She just puts a lot of stock into who he is and their relationship, and it's just cringe. So I'm not saying people don't have a reason to criticize her, but I don't know. I don't like when people throw out the baby with the bathwater because it's like, yo, she still had a good point. She still had points, just like Cat Williams had a lot of good points, but it doesn't negate the fact that he also had did some things in his past as well. So that's the Monique situation. I want to talk about. I have some other things too, like Usher. We're gonna get into it, and I want to talk about. We'll start with. We'll do a YouTube news in a second. We'll do one of them, one of the topics, but I want to talk about. Damn, who was it? Not Usher. That's down the way. Child, I can't remember. Oh, Courtney Clenny. Y'all remember I did a live this had to be over a year ago about the Nigerian dude. He was dating this white woman and she was an OnlyFans model, and she like S A STABBED him to death. I don't even know what the results of that was. Like she did end up getting arrested, but I don't know if she was charged. Do y'all know that her parents were recently arrested in relation to the case? And I didn't read all of it, but from what I understand, I think they were in cahoots and trying to get stuff off of Obam Seli, the victim's laptop. So, child, this case is messy. It's just, I want to read up more about it, but I didn't know if anybody heard about that. And I just think it's wild that a year later, all this stuff is happening. It's absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. Her parents, and I saw them in a mugshot not too long ago. I just hadn't gone live, so I didn't get a chance to talk about it. But child, they're involved too somehow. I'm wondering how his family is doing because y'all know I like to think about different sides of things, and people were going in like, "Oh, this is not our battle. That's not our battle. That's for the white women's and all this stuff." And I was just like, "Oh my god." Um, but I do think about his family because I'm like, what's happened? Has this woman been charged? Is she in jail? What ultimately has happened with this case? And he's dead. But if you're into true crime, y'all need to watch, what is that show on Netflix? I just watched this like yesterday. Lover, Stalker, Killer or something. Yo, that show was crazy. I might even get. We'll see. We'll see if I have time. That show was crazy. It was just a single show. I think it was like it might have been an hour and 40 minutes. I can't remember. But I was, yo, that joint, and I knew from the beginning who I already had my theories from the beginning about who the bad person was. But I don't want to get into it too much because I don't know who's in the chat and I don't know if you guys watched it, and I don't like spoilers. So I don't like spoilers. So I don't want to spoil it for other people. So maybe we'll poll at the end and see if people want to get into it. But child, watch that show. It is insane. Well, it's not a show, it's a documentary. It's a documentary about this love triangle gone wrong. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. And it talks about online dating. Child, it's just scary, very scary. But anyway, so let's talk about our first topic from the YouTube streets. Okay, now the first thing I want to talk about is Ness and This Heat. Now, I have not really watched This Heat's channel. I'm familiar with This Heat because I know her and Ness used to date. Sometimes it still feels like they are. I'm not sure, whatever. Apparently, last night they got into it and they got into a pretty nasty back and forth. And apparently, This Heat revealed that, remember when, I think it was Neat Cation. Remember when there was this controversy about they said Ness and Onsite April was allegedly doing the Kokiana, and they all swore up and down that that's not what happened. Well, apparently This Heat revealed in a live yesterday where they were arguing that this was true, that that's what they were doing. And then Ness got mad and then showed a bunch of receipts about cash apps and stuff that This Heat sent her. Now, this is what I have to say. This is where the toxic relationships come in. I don't understand, number one, why people keep dating people from off of YouTube. I'm not saying it never works out. I think it does work out for some people, but I it's very rare. It's very rare that it works out. And if it does go south, one of the consistent themes that I've noticed is that people get on here and air each other out, and it's just so childish. It's so childish, and to me it's like, why would you even risk that? Why risk that happening, especially if you're talking to somebody from a toxic sector like the beef sector or the black sector, or it's not even like people are dating people from like the spiritual sector. It's like y'all are dating people from the black and the beef sector, and you expect it's going to be a bed of roses. Like, sure, it might be nice for a change, but for a little bit, but then it always goes south. And so I think from the beginning, at first I was like happy for those two in the very beginning because Ness seemed happy and stuff. But it just slowly, you can just kind of tell that it was toxic. They were always fighting, always threatening each other. It was always lives being posted about, come here and I know where you live. And let me tell you something. I don't know about you guys, but one of my pet peeves is when people threaten me. Like, I probably shouldn't say this. Well, this is not a secret because I've talked about this before. If you want me to go motherfucking nuclear, threaten my ass and see what happened. Like that. I cannot stand grown ass people who do stuff like that. When they try to come for people's jobs, they try to come for where you live, they try to come for your family, even if you're not even about that life and you won't actually do it. Just you saying that is just such a trigger for me. Like, I know that's something I never got over. Like some of the issues I got into with people before. And I've had a couple people threaten me and I'm like, "Oh no." Like that just makes me go nuclear. And you know what else? People need to have some self-respect, because I think when people sit up there and threaten you, that's not the type of person you're supposed to get back in cahoots with. Why do these people, like, literally this is like dog returning to vomit. When somebody threatens your livelihood, such as your job, your safety, anything, that is not a good person. That's not a decent person. And if you're going to make up with anybody, don't let it be one of those people, because that should not be the first thing that comes to mind is, to threaten somebody's livelihood. That's somebody who has significant issues, and they ain't shit, really, to summarize it. They're not shit. Like, why would you want somebody to lose their livelihood? It's very weird to me. And so I don't trust anybody like that. I don't care what type of relationship you had with them or what you think you had. If you come across somebody online or offline and they're trying to reach for you by threatening your livelihood, oh no. Forgive them from afar and keep it moving. You don't get no do-overs, okay? No secondsies with that type of behavior. And I think this is one of the things that I see on here with YouTubers, and particularly in certain sectors. It's like people go back to the worst people. Like I was sitting, listening to some people this week, and I was like, "Yo, these people literally choose the worst people to get back in cahoots with." There's one person on here, and they're just one of many. There's this one individual, and I've seen her do so many iterations of this. She will literally come for her most loyal people, like day ones, like ride or die. Because oftentimes her people aren't really content creators anyway, they're like other subscribers. She will come for them, she will degrade them in the chat, she'll do all kinds of stuff and then just block them and stuff. And then if it's a content creator who's done I'm not just talking about like regular, oh my gosh, I can't stand you, like really bad stuff happens, she somehow makes her way back into relationship with those people, like the worst of the worst. And I'm like, what kind of brokenness? Because y'all know I always be analyzing stuff. What kind of brokenness, level of brokenness do you have to be dealing with that you choose the worst people to get back in a relationship with? The worst people, the people who did you absolute just dog shit. Those aren't people you get back in cahoots with. Once again, I'm all for forgiveness. I am. But there are just certain people that you do not let back into your life. And I'm going to tell you a quick story. When I was in undergrad, there was this girl. Okay. Her name was Abina. Matter of fact, we say names. Okay. Her name was Abina. Okay. And oh man, my freshman year was really like, it was hard because I would, it's just so much newness. There were so many changes that I was going through. And I remember sharing some of my story with her and some other girls. This was freshman year. And I had like, before I found my really good friends who I'm still friends with to this day. Hey, TMZ. Yo, listen, TMZ, you already know. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them that fall into that category, but there's one of them that I've seen her do it so many times. It's so, and if y'all don't know, y'all need to subscribe to TMC because they have like really good community posts. They haven't posted content yet, but that is content. Their community posts are fire. So Abina was kind of like a ringleader person, and before I found my really good friends, later on in my first semester, I kind of hung out with Abina and some other girls, and they ended up being real toxic and stuff. And Abina she liked to run people. She liked to control people. And I wasn't like, even though I was a different person then, it wasn't my thing. I just wanted, like, I was just looking for friends, but I'm not trying to have somebody run me or, tell me what to do. So anyway, and Abina, listen, I'm sure I'm 5'3", but Abina was shorter. She got to be like, I don't even think this girl's breaking like 5 feet. And she was real skinny. And child, one day we got into it, and Abina, I shared. So I have, for some of you guys who don't know, I do have a history of sexual abuse. I've shared that before. It's not like a super secret or anything. And Abina and I got into it, and I'll never forget. I still have this image in my head, and she's in my friend's dorm room. And like we get into it, and I decide to walk out the room. I'm like, I'm getting out of here because I could tell it was building. The pressure was building and stuff. So I was like, let me get up out of here because she's talking real reckless. And back then, this is a Christian college, so just to give you context, there's just a lot of stuff that's not going to happen like it would in a regular school. So Abina saw that I walked out because oh no, I walked out and I said, you know what your problem is? Because the sun don't rise and set on your ass. And I said that to her. She fucking lost it. She lost it that I said that to her. She jumps up and tries to go to the door. And then one of the other girls that she's friends, we were both friends with at the time, her name is Paris. And Paris is like a much bigger girl than her. holds her back. I don't know what she's holding her back for because, like I said, back then I was huge. Like I have more height and weight on Abina. Like I could snap Abina in half easily. Like I'm just keeping it a buck. She might have been a Tasmanian devil and she might have been diabolical and shit, but Abina, sweetie, no. So Paris is like pretend holding her back, and she's like just rigging her, going off and saying all this stuff, and then she says to me, um, yeah, you probably liked it when such and such happened to you, baby. She's talking about, hey, mixology, hey, Manny, big up, shout up to the members. How do you say to somebody who has a sexual abuse history, you probably liked it? Literally, that's like the worst thing you could say to somebody who's been through something like that. If you don't know now, you know. Child, I saw black. I saw black, and I was headed down the hallway, and she said that, and I just, skirt, and I like turned back around to go back into the room, and then my friend Antoinette, I'm so cool with Antoinette. Antoinette heard that shit and was like, "Oh hell no!" And Antoinette knew, oh, this is not a game. Like what she just said is really bad. So Paris is fake holding Abina back, but Antoinette now knows, as my friend, this is bad, bad, bad. Like, it's gonna pop off. So Antoinette comes in and tries to intervene. Long story short, I share this story with you to let you know this girl tried to, like, I found a new group of friends. Like I said, we're friends to this day. It's been over 10 years. Like, this girl has tried to come back into my life in different ways while I was still at college, after I left college. She even tried to hit me up on Facebook. I blocked her ass. Nigga, you ain't never getting a chance. Like, I don't even want to say boo to you. Like, that kind of, like, I don't ever, ever, ever want to see your face again because that's trash. Like, who says stuff like that? And to me, this is on the level that I see some of the people say stuff on here to each other. The stuff that they say and do, it's like you would never get a chance, like no do-overs. And it doesn't mean you can't forgive people from afar and you release them so you're not like holding on to that. That don't mean you need to be in my life. And that's what I don't understand. Like I said, they take the most loyal people, block them, show them the door, give them their arse to kiss, and then the toxic, abusive people who's done the most horrible things to them. Those are the people that they look to get back with. I'm gonna give you an example. It's a messy example though, a real live YouTube example. I could not understand for the life of me why, after everything that VS did to Seven Stars, that Seven Stars would find herself on the phone with VS, talking to her about her court case, telling her secret. Like, something got to be wrong with you. Why would this person did the worst thing to you, up like out of everybody up on here? You found your way back talking to this person on the phone, like, it's weird, guys. Like, this kind of stuff is weird to me when I see people do stuff like that. And then of course VS is gonna flip it and threaten her, like, oh yeah, I know this information that could get her in jail, like seconds after they made up. And I just, those kind of things I don't understand. Like, when it comes, like I said, this was a real life situation where that girl used my trauma as a roasting point, right? In an argument. It's been years. Don't want to have nothing to do with her. Child. Heard she was running for office. One of my friends was like, "Oh, did you hear that, Abino?" I don't give a fuck. It's good for her. It's just, I don't understand. You have to love yourself enough to get away from people like that forever. Anyway, let me read these comments. Mixology said, I hold grudges like Scrooge hold on to his coins. Okay. I forgive but never forget, so it's hard for me to let people back in if they do me dirty. Exactly. Exactly, Mixology. My brain won't allow it. It's psychological safety. You can forgive people and you don't have to let them back into your life on the level that they were in there before. TMZ said they must like abuse. That's the only thing I could think of. And that's facts. Some of them like abuse. Some of them like abuse. They're addicted to it. They don't know anything more than that, because how could you, like, what that woman did to you is just like beyond. but you come up here and blame everybody else for it. That's the other gag. Stuff happens to people. They come on here, they don't blame the person, they blame the people adjacent to the situation. And I don't even understand that, but that's just a whole nother thing that we can break down and talk about. So anyway, I say all that to say, number one, people need to stop dating people within online, like YouTube, especially from certain sectors. It's not going to end well. Okay. Hey, Miss Brown, baby. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of Ness and this heat arguing. Who cares? It's either y'all together or y'all not. And I really hope you're not together because the way that y'all be talking to each other is crazy. Um, very weird and toxic and controlling. I can't deal with it. And also, why don't people ever learn the lesson that when you're dating people from certain parts of YouTube, you don't really have any safety in your relationship. Like, if it works out, if it doesn't work out, it's always going to be on the streets. Why do we know certain details about you and your partner or you and your ex? Why do we know what your vagina smells like or tastes like? Why do we know any of these details? It's weird. This is just so weird. I don't understand. No boundaries. So anyway, I don't know why people do it, y'all, because it's just always the same thing over and over again. I didn't mean to put the heart emoji. Oh, you're fine. Don't worry, TMZ. Okay, it's gross, and I said that on purpose, mixology, because all the time you're hearing about people's genitals and what it does and what it doesn't do, and it's just like, do y'all be doing this out there in everyday life? Like, this is like what? Just weirdos. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Okay. See, y'all get what I'm saying. Why do we know those details? That is weird. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then they just find the worst things about each other to say, even with like Tracy and Noble. And I still think these two are into each other because they still talking and stuff. Like, they still texting each other. But it's just like, why do we need to know people's health history? Once again, stuff about what their genitals do, what it look like, what it smell like, you know, how flaccid their penises are. Like, this is like, y'all are doing too much. And you know what? They play themselves, because if you ever get back with this person, we're always going to remember that that was the man with the flaccid penis, or that was the woman whose vagina smelled like XYZ. Like, y'all are weird. Y'all don't got no boundaries. I'm telling you, the internet is forever. Keep some things to yourself. Like, what is just, child? I don't understand. Like, we're never going to be able to unhear that, Manny. We're not. Yes, I believe what you see in these people is who they truly are. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's very scary. So I don't even know why they just bother. Like, why do y'all get into these relationships? And, you know, it's one thing if oh, sorry, Manny. Manny's like, I'm trying to eat. And Manny's always has like good food too. She always has good food posted on her channel. It's one thing if you meet somebody, and because listen, it's not about their personality. I'm just gonna be honest. Some people gonna get mad. Okay, y'all just gonna have to let me live. We know it's not the personality. Okay. So let's say they get hooked for other reasons. Why are y'all getting on here and telling all of your business? Keep some things to yourself and sacred. And that's the reason why you have people roll up in their chats and ask them personal questions that they don't got no business asking. Because you've created that environment. You've created an environment where people know more than they should. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just thinking like it, it's just very strange. But so yeah, Ness and this heat, they got to get it together because they both be saying and doing crazy stuff. But this heat does sound kind of controlling. Like, when I was listening to Ben's live today, and I was like, you know, y'all both are toxic at times to each other, but the way this heat tried to control certain things really rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, no, I don't know, something isn't right here, you know. So, but hey, we like, it takes two to tango, and you know, if you want to be controlled, that's on you. You know, nobody is dumb over here. So if that's what people want, that's what they want. Hey, Dee Dee Love, thanks for being here. Child, we just We were talking about the shenanigans. But yeah, like I'm just tired of seeing stuff about those two. I actually really like listening to Ness, and I've said this before, but just whenever it gets to like toxic stuff between her and this he, I just stop watching because I'm like, this is just dumb. I Miss Brown baby, listen, I'm bad too because I had stopped watching a lot of people, and then I just go back and watch stuff now here and there, a couple people. But I want to say this. I want to talk a little bit about Tracy. So Tracy, girl, Tracy is out of control. Okay, because I could have sworn this is when I started watching again, right around the time when the whole misunderstood thing happened. I didn't see the picture, thank God. But this is around the time that I started watching stuff again from the B sector. And so I went over there and again, never saw the picture. I guess by then she had taken it down. Tracy, you were celebrating and bragging about this. And then Tracy gonna talk about some she said she was hacked. She said she tried to spin it that she was hacked. So I said, does Tracy think because her page is deleted that people forget like what they saw and what they heard? I'm like, Tracy, I can't. Like she's straight up playing in our face. And then she was getting mad because people were calling her out for it. I'm like, girl, you did celebrate. Like I saw with my own eyes where you were basically puffing out your chest, like, yeah, I did it, I'll do it again, and I'm about to appeal and all this stuff. Because listen, that is Tracy's MO. Tracy will do crazy ish and then get on here and beat her chest and be like, I did it. I'm just like, what? So how you gonna talk about you was hot, girl? I listen, Manny, I couldn't. She said she was hacked. I said, I just had to laugh because I was like, girl, listen, I know your channel is gone, but we remember. The North remembers, okay? This is insane. And the other thing that drives me insane is that why does it matter who sent you the pictures? It doesn't matter who sent you the pictures because you posted them. You willfully or allegedly you were hacked, but we're not going. Okay, we don't believe that. You posted the pictures on your community wall. Therefore, whoever sent you the pictures is irrelevant. I'm not saying that person can't get in trouble, when it comes down to court and stuff, but you posted the pictures. What are you talking about? That's weird. So I just can't take that seriously. I can't take none of that stuff seriously because I'm like, yeah, y'all not even taking responsibility for your actions and stuff. I don't know if she got scared, maybe she got scared. Whoever, not however, she must have gotten scared because I don't know. That was just very strange. Stand on business. Okay, she posted it. Stand 10 toes down like you usually do. Okay, and leave it alone. Exactly. But now that Lady Snoop has been outed, it still falls on her. Exactly. Yeah, I heard that Lady Snoop might have sent her the pics, Didi Love. So it's confirmed. Yeah, like it's like you still did it. You still did it. It's like if somebody sends you, when it comes down to crime, if somebody sends you inappropriate pictures of minors and you decide that, look what this person posted, you're still going to jail. Like you posted it. You received and posted these pictures. Even though I don't know, they said the ages like, you know, we're not sure what the age is. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna believe misunderstood that she was a minor, okay? And whether she was a minor or not is irrelevant. You shouldn't have done that. Like, why did you do that? There's other things that you can do when you're beefing. Like that. I wasn't with it. But child, I don't think anything's gonna happen because I think I've said this before. This might have been a members only video that I said it. You know what? Y'all know like when it's what is it? Like if there's a whole nuclear fallout, it's only certain things that survive. Tracy is one of those things. Okay, the mycelium network never dies. You know what else survives? I think you know. Let me read this. It doesn't matter who sent them. It only matters who posted it, right? If it's underage, then all of them are in trouble. Absolutely. Y'all better pray that this issue don't make it to court, because if it does, the walla will not go to jail. You get me? I'm going to say it again in patois. The walla will not go to jail. That means all of y'all going to jail, because that's how they do it. That's how it works. They're going to get your IP address, just like that damn show I told you about that I just watched, that documentary on Netflix with the crazy lady. They gonna get your IP address, okay, and they gonna find out who done sent the shit. And Lady Snoop, I'm gonna just say all of them. Listen, Manny she just translated for her, okay, all of them. So y'all need to get it together, okay? Y'all really do, because it's not that deep to be going to jail. Stuff like, why would you even do? I can't. I'm disappointed. I know Tracy does crazy stuff, but it's like, girl, really? And Hastings, shout out to one of my other members, Sticks girl. It's like, Tracy, girl, you going to the gym, you got a trainer, what you doing? You getting the gym body so you can go to jail? Get it together, sweetheart. Get it together. Okay, y'all need to I just can't. I cannot. And then you got people, y'all know one of my pet peeves is, we all do things that we regret, but I cannot stand when people co-sign and just like they enter the delusion with the person. So they know that Tracy did this, and you got people in the chat, yeah, because she was hacked, and they're just kind of reiterating like lies and stuff, and it's just like, what? I just came back and I know that this is a lie. Like, are you serious? Then I started to say, this is how Trump supporters are made, I guess. I don't know. It's just, I don't understand. I don't understand. But anyway, I don't know. Does anybody, they are nuts, Dee Dee. They are nuts. Like, you're sitting up there co-signing this BS, talking about some, yeah, because, she was hacked, and, like, just stop talking. Stop talking. That might be your saving grace, is if you stop talking. Don't reference any of this stuff, because you're just incriminating yourself. It's just listen, I cannot, I don't know how people do this day in and day out. But yeah, stop talking about all this crazy stuff with your relationships, and keep some things private. Keep some things private. It breaks my heart to see grown people, like, even with the Tracy and Noble thing. I don't know. I'm just weird. I don't know if it's the empath in me. I felt like, I don't even know how to describe it, but hearing the two of them expose each other's personal, like, intimate details, it really disturbed me, because I was just like, oh my God. And y'all still talk to each other? Like, this is very bizarre to do that. Like, I don't know. I just think it's weird. And then I noticed a pattern of Tracy's exes. And that, y'all can take it whatever way you want to. Some people might be like, that's because it's true. But I noticed a pattern of her exes, these men going in on her vagina. And it's like, but y'all had sex with her multiple times per your reports. So, like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Okay. If it's giving mustard and acidity and, poorly balanced pH, why do we know about the multiple incidences of sex? Like, this is the kind of stuff that I talk about, where people don't see. They just don't like somebody, and they just go to, like, the T, or what they think is a T. But really, this is misogyny. Okay? Because let me rewind to Rob Rax, when she was with Rob Rax and she was on that horrible shit show. Okay, when they were just coming online and saying all this stuff, and it's like, y'all did multiple things, like, all the time you were talking about this in your lives, like, giving way too many details that people don't care about. But yet, when they broke up, all these things were said from Rob, and it's just like, why are these men doing this? It couldn't have been that bad, because you did it multiple times. I'm just trying to make sense. I'm just trying to pick sense out of nonsense. Dee said he had touched her soft spot. She was happy. Right. Like, they generally seemed happy for a little bit. And it was real cringe. Like, it was real cringe to hear them say stuff like, I don't like when people talk about each other's health. Like, saying that he has sickle cell. Like, I don't know, guys. That kind of stuff really rubs me the wrong way. Like when people start to do reads like that, I'm like, you're a horrible human being. I'm glad I was not watching any of her breakup storylines. Child TMZ, you're better than me. Because child, I was in there like a goddamn moth to the flame. I was like, what? I was like, what is going on? Manny said, look, I'm so glad my sandwich is gone now. The mustard turned, Manny. They want her numbers. They do. Listen, Dee Dee is speaking facts, okay? I absolutely now it took me, I was a little slow bus on this one. I was a little slow bus. But this second go around, it absolutely clicked for me that they want her numbers. Okay? It's just crazy to me. But she did also tell all his business. And I just think that's a bad look. Like, if anybody is paying attention online or offline, why would you want to date either of these individuals? Why would you want to date any of these individuals? It's just like when they fall out with, as friends, people be showing text messages and all this stuff, and this is just 10 times worse because you're hearing intimate details and stuff. It's weird. I think of him not knowing his shoe size is a lie. How you wear 12, right? That makes no sense. Some of it doesn't even add up. I'm gonna let you know, even in therapy, like people talk about all kinds of stuff in therapy, but like, and some people are more comfortable discussing sex and sexual details than others. But some of the stuff that people be talking about on here, like it would be hard for some people to say in a session. And people get on here. I'm trying to paint a picture for you. People get on here with a bullhorn and shout that shit to the rooftops to a bunch of strangers. Y'all don't think that's weird? Because it's very weird to me. Yes, hey Bilkis. Boop, 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 boop. I know who that is. I ain't gonna say her name unless she wants me to. I'm so glad she's here. Shout out to Bilkis. Yes, I'm so glad you're here, girl. Child, we were talking about all kinds of shenanigans. But yeah, like I'm like, if it's hard for people to say some of these details in therapy, why is it easy for you to just get on here with your bullhorn and be shouting stuff to the rooftops? Y'all don't think that's weird? Like, it's very strange. This is not normal. It's not normal. Like, normalize talking to a therapist, normalize talking to your friend in person about some of these details if you must. Because I can't, even that, I'm like, some of that stuff, some stuff you just shouldn't be telling people. I'm a believer that, like, unless it's an unbiased third party, some stuff you really shouldn't be telling people because they can use it against you. You have to know that that person stands for you and your partner, right? So if you know it's somebody that's going to give it a fair shake, sure, and this is your trusted bestie, sure, but like a lot of us as friends are biased. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you tell your friend, some stuff about your partner that's like, well, it depends on how bad it is. Hopefully it's not super bad, because if it's super bad, then that's another story. But like, why? Ignorance is celebrated, Dee Dee. It is. It's very sad. Ignorance is celebrated. And I think that's part of why I took a long break, because it was just like, sometimes even just like interjecting with just some realistic thoughts, people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear it. It's weird. Miss My Baby said, girl, these folks need help. Facts. They they just pull all the business out there. Tracy will cuss you out about it. I know. It's so crazy. I'm like, yo, keep some stuff sacred. Mixology, they don't give a damn. They sure don't. They sure don't give a damn. I said, what? Why would you do that? Now, the next topic I'm going to talk about, okay, it's going to be very. I'll probably get cussed out too. But it's just, there's just certain things I don't think people should be doing, especially now. I'm in an interracial relationship, but as a Black person, I understand that some things isn't for everybody. When you get on here as a Black couple and y'all just saying and going at each other a certain way, it's just like you're spilling tea about your own community too. Like, I don't even know if I said this. I don't know if y'all understand what I'm saying, but it's like some things it's not for everybody, because people are going to take that and they're going to run with it and they're going to generalize. You have to be responsible. I overshare myself, but I know not to share some stuff. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm a private person, right? So I realize that, like, that's different. Like, there's definitely friends who they're just gonna listen, they're just gonna come out and say it. But it's different if you have a friend that you're talking to, right? That you know, like they're not gonna come online and make a live about it. Like I think it's great when we have friends like that, that we can like talk about those hard things, or you know, if we're having issues with family members or friends or partners, it's great to have that. And some people share more than others, right? Hey, some people get into the sexuality with their friends. That is their business. But I think it's another level to get online and just blast stuff. I think that's a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Um, you must be talking about what she said online that she cracks me up. And not to be televised. Yeah. Yes, she put it out there and got mad that I gave commentary, right? Like y'all, and I say this all the time. Like, if you put it out there, people can talk about it. Like people can talk about the stuff. It's just like you said it, you did it. You know, you can't get mad later on when it becomes a topic of discussion because you introduced that to John Public, you know? So, you know, it's just like when people share too much about their relationships and then things go south and then they get mad when people run up in their comments and stuff. And it's like, but you put all this out here and people have been warning you to keep certain things to yourself. Now, if that's your life, if you're a vlogger or blog, you know, and this is what you do, then people are going to expect it. But if that's not what you do and you're sprinkling in here stuff here and there, especially in this sector, people collect information, right? If you choose to come out here and share something, you have to stand 10 toes down and you have to understand that people could take that and spin it, but you decide how you're going to handle that. Are you going to let it bother you? Are you going to ignore them? Are you going to cuss their ass out? You know, because sometimes it's very sad. I've seen people use other people's trauma history against them in many ways, many ways that we can go: domestic violence, sexual trauma, physical abuse, you know, all kinds of stuff. People actually will use that information to roast people. It's weird. Or people being vulnerable about their situation. Like, oh, I was a drug addict, you know, I'm a recovering addict, or, you know, I'm sober. People will use that to drag people. I mean, this is how deplorable people are. That's why you used to be a crackhead. I don't really think you're sober. Like, just what the like, this is, it's sick, y'all. I'm telling you, that kind of stuff is sick. You know, that would be on my conscience if I was like cussing somebody out about their sobriety, knowing that they're sober. I would not be able to sleep at night thinking like, damn, I might have caused that person to relapse because I went too far with my roast. Like, why do people come up with this kind of stuff? Look how they keep dragging abused children. Whoo, don't get me started on that one, Dee Dee. There is a reason the court seals documents. Let me tell you something. Oh my God, this is just like, this is making my blood boil right now. Okay. Anybody who drags abuse of anybody, but especially children, is tragedy, trash. You hear what I'm saying? Okay, and I'm gonna take it a step further. I don't know all the details, but I know that Tracy was fighting with some woman from another sector, and I think that woman's daughter died in a horrific way. I think she got tangled up in some blinds. Why the Funk Master Flex, is that a part of your read and drags? Like, it's time to let that shit go, Tracy. I heard you say it again the other day. Like, why are we saying stuff like that? Leave the babies alone. Y'all going, I'm telling you, karma is real. And people don't realize karma may not visit your ass, but it'll visit one of your descendants. Like, that stuff just makes me want to jump through the screen and slap somebody. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? Do you know how horrific that has to be for that mom or those family members? I don't care who this person is. I don't know them, but I know that making fun of somebody's dead kid just ain't it. Like, that is sick. And if somebody run down on you and slap the shit out of you for that, I wouldn't blame them, because you have to have some sense. Some people don't have no damn sense. Like, what kind of joke that's? How do you joke like that? That's crazy. Like, I hear that stuff and I just be clicking right off because I'm like, oh no, I'm not doing this. Lucas said, definitely need to be mindful of what you share, and we're on here. Absolutely, folks will weaponize it. And it's a public domain, especially in toxic sectors. Exactly. And I was telling the story earlier about this, how I shared this story with this girl in undergrad. And she came back and like used it as a read on me. And to this day, I don't F with her. She's tried to like, you know, whatever. I don't know if she's trying to befriend me or whatever, but it's like, nah, no, we're done forever. Leave the babies alone. This is why I don't mess with certain people. Like, even another reason why I don't know a lot of stuff about Lady Snoop is this. I just can't take any woman or man, but especially woman, seriously, who capes for Tommy Sotomayor. And then also Lady Snoop was like besties with Ken. None of that makes any sense to me. So I automatically am going to decenter you. Like, as somebody who like cares about kids and other people and other black people, you're automatically getting decentered. Automatically. Like, and so it makes sense to me that Lady Snoop is chasing after some man that doesn't want her. Like, girl, have some self-respect. It makes no sense at all. And so anybody who's dealing with these type of individuals is like, no. The other question is, why is that mother on here with the BS? Facts. You're right. You're right. Dee Dee's raising a really good question. She's raising a good question, because even though I do, like I said, she shouldn't be saying that stuff, or anybody else shouldn't be using it as a read, but she must be in some level of toxic communication for it to even get to that point. So that's a good point. Um, right. Those are fair questions. I will never understand the inner workings of a middle-aged woman who sits online all day dragging children and other women. Sickness. So strange and psychotic. Absolutely. It absolutely is. I don't get it. There's nothing for us to get because it's cray cray. Like, why is this stuff normal? Why is this normalized in that sector? It also makes me question anyone who can continue to support this trash. There, Manny said it right there. There's a winning ticket. I can't, because it's just so toxic. Like, you can deliver your messages whenever you have somebody that's a professional troll and they prey on the insecurities and just the negative aspects of a group, but they present themselves as though they're trying to help somebody, right? Like, that's TS's um that's his presentation. He packages it as though, I'm here to help black people. I'm here to help black women, but I'm here to tell you, help don't gotta hurt like that. Okay? If you need to call me all kinds of black bitches and this, that, and the third, that's not help. And this is from a professional helper. Can nobody ever trick me into that mess? Okay? Don't believe that bullshit, because it is. And I just don't understand. I really don't get it. I try to ask questions to look out other people's windows. Doesn't mean I'm ever gonna be like ever gonna respect TS, but I try to understand what draws some of these people, men and women, to this man, who it's incredibly destructive. Like, the language is incredibly destructive. Those are the type of wording and narratives that we should be moving away from as a community. And here is this person literally just, how many channels that man has lost? I can't. They all have some deep unresolved issues. Absolutely. Sad part is, if you don't even have to share it, they will dig up whatever they can on you. Yo, see, listen, those are the extra scary, just horrible people, deplorable people. The people who go digging is weird to me, right? It's one thing for you to know, but when they go digging, that says a lot. And what did I say? I said this earlier, but a lot of y'all weren't here then. And I talked about people who threaten people's livelihoods. Watch out for those people. Those are not people you want to give like second chances. If they have come for you, your livelihood, or if they've tried to come threaten you in any type of way, I promise you, you need to run and don't look back. Like, there's just no simpler way to say it. Dee Love said, I'm sorry, Tommy Sotomayor changed me. Real talk. Dee, pull up a chair. What are you talking about, girl? Tommy Sotomayor changed you? Girl, listen. Now, I love you and your commentary, but girl, I can't. No, ma'am, Pam. That man is straight from the gates of hell. Straight from the gates of hell. I would date him. Hell no. Who are you talking about? I hope it's not TS and let me stop before I get a defamation charge. She dresses like Peggy Bundy, so maybe she's got a Arrested Development. Listen, Bilkis, you're gonna make me choke on my cough drop. Stop it. I can't unsee it. Yo, yo, help. Yo, I cannot. Oh my gosh. Bilk is straight to the corner for you. You're out of control. Not Peggy Bundy. Lord of mercy. Oh my gosh, I can't. And he said more than calling names. He actually told a lot of truth. Okay, Dee Dee. Over here, we are a fair, like equal opportunity commenters. So I'm going to open the floor to say, please share the nuggets that you feel you have been passed on to from Tommy Sotomayor. Because I'm going to be honest, I have zero respect. Matter of fact, -5 respect for Tommy. Okay. So even if at some point truth have escaped his lips, I'm not going to hear it because I've shut his ignorant, stanky motherfucking ass off a long time ago. That being said, please share what you have learned from him because I just don't believe he has anything constructive to share. I feel like he pits the black community against each other. I've heard him go in on black women and like just I mean, it's just horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And he has daughters. He has daughters. And I'm gonna say this too. I am so sick and tired of the what is it? I not even know what them name. Is it the manosphere? The manosphere loves to extract little tidbits of foolishness, okay, of toxic elements of whatever, let's say the black female community. And they love to take that and run with it and act like they're just bringing the gospel to people. And it's just a bunch of bullshit. Because I can do the exact same thing if I want to with men, with black men, right? But that's irresponsible. That's irresponsible. I'm gonna tell you guys something. I watch because I like to watch a lot of different people because I like to, even if I don't share their views, I like to understand why people think the way they think. So I watch Paris Milan, I watch Nyla Vibes, okay? I don't agree with everything that those women put on their platform, but do they make valid points at times? Absolutely. They make a lot of valid points. But I don't support everything that they say, especially let's start with Paris because Paris, she went on her tirade for years about black men. Guess who she's married to? A black man. And that's great. But here's why that's important. This is why it's important to not overgeneralize and lump everybody into the same category. Because while she's going in on black men and hiding and shit and this, that, and the third, she ended up getting married for a whole year and had to keep it a secret because she couldn't tell her supporters because she was out here pushing the opposite narrative when all you have to do is be honest. There are toxic and horrible black men, but there's also black men that don't fall into that category. So I don't rock with people who deal with extremities because it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. And so I will listen to those women and even Nyla has some really powerful points. She talks about femicide a lot, but then sometimes she be going in and I'll be like, damn, Nyla, I don't know. I don't really see it this way. Doesn't mean she doesn't have something to offer. So I tend to take what I call extremists with a grain of salt because I think they're extremists personally. It's not help for real. Highlighting the worst in us, constantly degrading women in our community is not helpful. And I stand with Manny on this. That is how I see TS. That's how I see. Good stuff, lady. I'm listening. Stiggs, thank you, sis. It's about individuality. He does not represent any individuality for myself or the people that I know or the black women that I know. Tommy has never described or encapsulated black women like appropriately. And he does it because he gets mad money from self-hating black women and black men and white people too, because I'm sure it's a whole bunch of people who pay his ass, to go in on his own community. We know that's true. Okay. Meanwhile, who's he flying out to Fruck every weekend? Like, yeah, we got to pay attention. There's a lot of stuff that I've come across with this man that it's just like, yo, he is literally a mind f. Like, he exists to fuck with the minds of people, and I'm not going. I'm not. How can we change what we do not acknowledge? And again, I'm gonna need more details. I'm gonna need more details. Since I have to type in the chat from my messy background, man, so talk mess. Bilkis, oh my god, he was talking about the women on here, criminals, child abusers, children not being raised. Where is the lie? Here's my problem with that, Dee, right? Tommy Sotomayor takes exactly what you just described: criminals, child abusers, children not being raised. And that can apply to many groups. That can apply to black men. That can apply to Spanish, Hispanic, Latinx families. That can apply to white families, Asian families, indigenous families. There's no lie there either. I can bring the stats out. So I think whenever people have a hateful rhetoric and they try to pretend like they're helping the community, I have a problem with that. He doesn't. I am not convinced for a millisecond that Tommy's desire is to help or extend the hand to the black community. He's single-handedly trying to tear the shit down while, doing his OnlyFans and collecting coins, from racist minions. I'm no. Like, that does exist. Do we have problems in our community as black people? Absolutely. But I just have problems with sticking those problems to, single groups of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I read stuff, I read all kinds of articles, and there's a lot of diabolical, evil shit happening out there. And to be honest, y'all not gonna like this, because statistically, it's white people doing more of that shit. Because there's more of them. Y'all not even making no sense. There's not even enough, like, there's statistically more white people. So there's more of them committing those crimes. Like, it's just so crazy to me when people just like, it's like, if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. But how does that help to advance things? And let's talk about, how did it get that way? To the subset of, let's say, black women who struggle with criminality, child abuse, and not knowing how to raise their kids. Why are they raising their kids by themselves? Why are they blamed for deadbeat men that walk out? Okay, why is it that it's hard for them to find, certain jobs and certain things? We got to ask why, instead of, pointing the finger and making it seem like these people are just trash and it just shows a trash life. There's systemic racism, there's misogyny, there's a whole list of things, and there's generations of people who are getting raised like this. It's deep. It's way deeper than somebody getting on a soapbox talking about some black women. My black mother was not like that. My black mother was not like that. It's crazy. Like, I think it's irresponsible. I'm not saying don't acknowledge it, but we can celebrate some good women too. Thank you. I've never heard him celebrate any good black women ever. It's always toxic, toxic, toxic. I know his commentary makes some money, makes other things, yet this approach vexes me. It's very upsetting. And that's coming from a person who loves to cuss for his debate. It's the same feelings for the divesting community. Yeah. You don't have to respect him. It does not change the fact that the women in our community are on BS. He pits the community back, pits the community of black women against each other. But what about the other women over here? But listen, Dee, the beef sector is a small representation of black women. I'm gonna be like this, like, I'm just gonna be honest. The beef sector does not reflect the friends that I have in real life. Like, maybe the people watching it, like some of the people in this chat, it will reflect it for me, like some of my friends. But the people actually getting on StreamYard, screaming at each other, cussing each other out, begging for $1 for crab legs, men and all them the people. Those are not my friends. I don't know none of those black people in my life. The people in the comments, oh yeah. Like what we talking about right now, oh yeah, definitely. I got people like that in my life. But the main players that's begging for money for crab legs and popcorn shrimp and how to pay my rent and looking for ways to ruin people's lives, that is not that's not a reflection of the black people, of the black women in my life. I don't got no friends that I have never had a friend that has said, listen, we fit in the research how are we going to take this person's social security, how we're going to get hosts fired, how we're going to get them to lose their housing. I have never met somebody like that. Do they exist? Absolutely, because I see them on here. But I'm just trying to say that, like, that toxic community subset of people should not represent black people at large. I think it's irresponsible. It's totally irresponsible. Tommy Sotomayor has deep-seated issues himself. A lot of his rhetoric is projection, facts, like much of the stuff that comes out of the manosphere and divestment communities, super facts. Tommy Sotomayor don't like himself. He's mad. Like, I feel like he is angry about his skin, like, which is so crazy, and he projects that onto dark skin and black women, like just black women in general. I love my black skin. I love my natural hair. Tommy Sotomayor don't love nothing about himself. Nothing. Maybe his deck. I said it, but that's about it. Like, that man don't love himself, and he's punishing the rest of the world for it, and I stand by that. Who's making them call people's jobs and apartments? That's what I'm saying, though. I'm saying those are a subset of people. They don't represent me. I don't think they represent you either, Dee Dee, and I don't think they represent the people in the chat. And there's a lot of black women up in here. So, spill the tea, Bill. Can spill the tea. Same thing with Candace Owens. Candace Owens, I feel like it's a troll. Like, what did she say the other day? I don't even remember. I just stopped reading her stuff because she just makes my blood boil. Paris Milan is annoying and exhausting. I tried. Exactly. I can't do gender war claptrap. I'm just going to read this part again. I can't do gender war claptrap because that's what it is. When you have people that take something and then they just decide to squeeze a bunch of people into it, that's what that is. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's dangerous. And that's why I don't feel comfortable with people like Paris Milan or Tommy Sotomayor or other people squeezing people into small categories and saying that this is gospel, because it's just not true. It's all toxic people who project and lie and need electroshock therapy, okay? If it does not apply, you must let it fly. But I think I have a greater responsibility than that. That just because it doesn't apply, it's not me sympathizing with the individuals who are behaving like that. I think that there's room to call them out, but I don't believe in generalizing, because you know what? I don't like when people generalize me. Okay. If, racist people do this all the time. I'm sure many of us in this chat can, attest to the fact that they've walked into a store and, all eyes are on you just by entering the store. Or some funky ass Becky walks over talking about some, can I help you? No, you cannot. Go help Sally. She's probably stealing right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit happens to us all the time. So I'm not going to do that to other people. Like, the people that are doing the stuff is doing the stuff. And if we really want to talk about it and we want to heal our community, yes, those people need to be held accountable. I'm not saying people shouldn't be held accountable and change their ways. I'm just saying throwing everybody into the same basket is just not, that's not it. There are toxic men and women in all cultures and races. Facts on facts on facts. And that's really what it is at the end of the day. But Tommy don't talk about the toxic white men or the toxic Asian men or the toxic Asian women. He's not doing that. He's not talking about the toxic Latinas, because that's not what puts money in his account. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not self-hating, but I know that ratchery is real. Ratchery is real. I'm not saying it's not either. I'm not saying it's not real, sis. I'm just saying how we talk about it, it matters. People need to seek help and advice from credentialed mental health professionals and stop consuming all of this mess from some of these folks with platforms. Facts. Let me tell you something, Tiffany. Like, it's really crazy to me because, and I'm just going to be honest here. Sometimes I come across stuff, and it's not even just like, it's not just mental health. Like, the other day I was looking at this one woman, and she does like readings, but it's not even just like they're not. It wasn't even like a tarot reading. It was like, get help with this area of your life, and it was very vague. And I was looking at what she was charging for our session, and I was like, wow, this is like more than I would charge for a session. Doesn't mean it's not worth it, that she shouldn't be compensated for that. No. But it makes me think, how many people are out there offering services, right? It's not in the mental health services. They're not credentialed in anything. Okay. They just like decided to just rig up some stuff here or there. Bam, here we go. And they're charging buku bucks. Meanwhile, people don't want to pay a fraction of that to attend a therapy session. Like, it just blew my mind. I don't know if this like resonates with anyone, but that joint blew my mind. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. Unfortunately, he is not lying. We have an entire sector of women glorifying that behavior. I'm black, so I concern myself with black people. There are white MW addressing white women the same way. I mean, I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see the white men's doing it, addressing women that way. And I certainly don't see some of these extremists addressing other groups the same way. I don't. Um we control our womb. I do believe in that. I do believe we need to be selective with the type of people that we procreate with, okay? Not necessarily race, but just the type and the quality of the individual. I think that's very important because, once again, effery comes in all races. And crime happens close to home, but what's highlighted and demonized is the black community. Facts. A lot of these white women don't raise their kids either. Okay? Can we say that again? A lot of these white women don't raise their kids either. Shocker. It happens in all groups and ethnicities. Stop believing the lies. They just like to put our stuff on Front Street. And you know what, guys? This is a whole separate live, but if you really think about it, okay, not that we blame everything on slavery, but look at the number that has done on the black family. Y'all mean to tell me that's, yes, generationally that's affected people. They're in different aspects in all the areas of our lives, educationally, financially, spiritually, physically. I'm sure some of the issues we see that are more prominent in black people has to do with years of intergenerational trauma and racism that we still face now. There's mad articles about it. There's articles about how things like systemic racism and fuckery that we have to deal with on a regular basis impacts your health. But it's easier to just say that black people are fat and they're eating fried chicken. It's easier to say they're just eating too much candy. Nobody wants to talk about, like, this is the shit that pisses me off. This is why I said people like Tommy Sotomayor need to sit down, because he don't know what he's talking about. He's just here to collect checks. I've watched him. Okay, even if you read, I'm sure some of y'all have read Tommy Sotomayor energetically. That man is pure dark energy. Separate that from how you've categorized dark in the past. Literally, I'm like looking at him right now and he's surrounded by a dark cloud. Like, no, ma'am, no, sir. Beef sector doesn't reflect my real life. Sorry, my thing is black. My real life at all. Same. My friends rarely go online to talk. Most of them post pics of their kids on vacations. Okay. In fact, I only talk about beef sector stuff with my beef sector friends. I don't talk about this shit to people in real life. Like, come on now. Because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. That's not a reflection for you, but does that mean it's not happening? But Dee, we're not saying it's not happening, sis. Like, I agree with you that it's happening and it needs to be addressed. There are definitely problematic things happening within our community, within the sector. My problem is that the way people like Tommy tells the story, he tells the story as though this is unique to our community, and that's just not true. It's happening, Dee. I agree we need to talk about it, but this approach will have most look at him sideways. Our behavior has people looking at us sideways. But here, you know what though? I've also come away from that because I've learned that people gonna look at us sideways regardless. The people that are determined to look at us like we're animals and monkeys and degenerates, they're gonna do that. So we have to decenter those people. We have to, like, my reason for wanting to become a better person is separate from what racist ass people think of me. It's separate from what hating ass black people think of me. None of my reasons for wanting to grow as a human being, as an individual, has anything to do with that. Like, when I hit that point in my life, this is why I laugh at the people every single time when people say stuff like nappy headed, oh yeah, pressure cooker need a perm. Literally, I laugh in your fucking face because I'm like, oh, you must really hate yourself, pobrecito. Like, sweetie, it's not hitting because you don't matter. And just like the racist ass people, I'm not saying racism doesn't affect me, because it sure does, but I'm saying you can't allow that to define why you change. It's just like, I'm working on my health goals. I can't make the reason that I decide to lose weight be because people call me fat. I have to have reasons for myself why I want to lose weight. Okay? I want to accomplish this athletic activity. I want to do this. I want to live a little bit longer. I want to look like this in my clothes. Like, who gives a fuck what Sally thinks? Like, this is what I'm saying. We have to decenter the reasons for, we got to make white people more comfortable. Who cares? They're not going to be comfortable. You could bend yourself into a damn pretzel. They have decided, the people that are racist have decided a long time ago, they don't fuck with you. Okay? You're not on their level. So the more you try to twist yourself into a pretzel to please them, you're just going to lose. You need to elevate yourself because that's what you want. This is why I don't worry about what people think about me. If I decide to rock my damn kinky, curly ass hair, oh, bitch, you're going to die because this is what I'm going to do. And nothing that you or your mama or your ancestors say is going to do anything about it. Period. Like, it's just so weird to me. Like, I used to say that before, like, oh yeah, we gotta just march what we say, because white people are gonna think that. Who gives a fuck about what white people think? And I'm married to a white man. Do you know how much work? Like, no, 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 no. I don't give a shit. Listen, all respect to my mama. When I just went natural, she's cool now. We cool now. So it's no hate. When I just went natural, my mom had so much negative things to say to me. And she just like reamed into me. And I think she thought that was going to make me like go perm my hair. And I finally said to her, it doesn't matter what you say or think. None of this has anything to do with you. This is how I'm wearing my hair. So you're just going to have to deal. And I never heard of any issues about it again. That's how I treat the rest of the world. If I'm doing that to my own mother, where I'm decentering her anti-black sentiments towards my hair, what the fuck you think I'm going to do to Billy Bob and Sally down the street? The same goddamn thing. I don't care. I don't care. Anything that I'm going to change is because I need to change it for myself. My health, my mental, my emotional, my spirituality. I'm doing it for myself first. If you like it, that's great. But I didn't do it for you. You see what I'm saying? Like, people don't get it. And I had to walk away from that because I used to try to, oh yeah, I gotta, black people, we're just so loud, and black people, cut that shit out. You're stressing yourself out. Your cells can't take no more of that shit. I'm telling you, release it. I'm done with my rant. Those want better will do better. They will listen and self-correct, but that's a small percentage, period. When he disrespected Francis, I don't even know, you're gonna have to update me, brown baby, was like, bye, I can't do it. Yeah, he's a horrible, deplorable, horrible man. The beef sector is a small microcosm. There it is. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Bilkis. A microcosm of a large, diverse community. I don't live in my life under the white gaze. Oh, there it is. That's exactly, because I've heard you talk about this before. A group of people who smear shit on the walls of the U.S. capitals can't judge me. I'm just gonna leave that up there for a bit. I'm gonna have to look this up. Miss Brown Baby, Francis Crest Welsing. I talk about black people too. Those are my people. Do you think other races are trying to figure us out, or are they focused on their own? I don't know. I think both. But I don't care. I have come to the place where I don't care because I've learned that And I do believe you love black people, Didi. I don't doubt that for a second. Um, but I have come to realize that I need to stop caring about that shit. Same thing in my business. You know, if I focus on, you know, just who I am, being a black woman, and in this business and in this field, and if I want to focus on the negative aspects, that's gonna become me. Like, I'm not doing that. I stopped doing that because it's distracting. Unfortunately, they're the ones who judge the most. Okay. So how others view black ratchery and foolishness is inconsequential. Period. This is the point that we're making. It's just summarized here perfectly. They're ratchet as fuck too. Period. Right here. So how others view black ratchery and foolishness is inconsequential because they're ratchet as fuck too. Didi, they want us to continue on. They could care less if we stay the same. Exactly. Their fear is us getting our ish together. Ooh, they don't like that type of teaching. That's right. Now I agree with that. Exactly. We need to stop bringing white people into the equation. So because through don't raise their kids, we should not speak on our own people. But we're not saying people shouldn't change. Facts, 100% deep seated in our DNA. Yeah, like for sure. But I don't navigate my life experiences under their gaze or opinions. I don't even do it under other black people's judgment. We shouldn't. It's exhausting. The sooner we get to that, the listen. That joint is so freeing. It's bigger than Tommy. And this is why you have people come on here and it's like they're just looking to be accepted and they keep putting stuff out. They're saying the worst things, not you, Didi. They're saying the worst things about people. Meanwhile, they're insecure themselves about their skin, about their hair, about their weight, but they got the worst things to say. I just laugh at those people. Those people can never say nothing to me, ever. Oh, they can, but it won't matter. Like, it's just crazy. My friends would be like, "What the hell are you watching?" Oh, exactly. No, nope, nope, nope. How do we address it properly? That's a beautiful question. That is the question I think that needs to be asked. How do we address it properly? Because from where I'm standing, Tommy Sotomayor is not addressing it properly at all. He don't get no points. I tried to send my friend the clip from Chichi Wendy. She was like, so I keep that foolishness to myself. I did. I'm trying to think. Who did I send? I sent something to a friend, and I immediately felt embarrassed, and I just wanted to like retract and curl up into a ball. But it's just the joint is crazy. Um, Thank you so much, Brooke. It's like, and even things that you've shared in the past has helped me. I will never forget you talked about decentering from the white gaze, from the male gaze. There was another one too. Like I was watching one of your videos, and you talked about that, and I just thought it was so profound because in some ways I've already started to do that, but like we need that type of wording to remind us, right? Of like, yo, people want you to be obsessed with what they think. It don't make no difference. Now I ain't never code switch for no one's comfort. Okay, I reinvent myself for me. And honestly, you know what's crazy, guys? Going natural actually helped me to do that. That like I'm even if I had elements of that before, going natural helped me to become that person where I was like, yo, I want this for me for many different reasons. And so it really truly didn't phase me. Like when I would have friends say stuff like, oh yeah, I can't do that. I gotta wait till I find a man. Just weird, crazy stuff. It's like, okay, well, good. I'm gonna chase the ones away that I don't want. Because I don't want them either. If they think this is a problem. Like it's so sad how much we hate ourselves. Like it's just sad. I love your hair, the things you can do, and I'm jealous for real. Thank you, Manny. You have gorgeous hair too. Are you kidding me? Ciao. Dee said, I spoke on this yesterday. It's not about making white people comfortable. It's about black people wanting to be safe. We can't live in our own hoods because of behaviors. And that's real stuff, Dee. There's definitely within group issues that we need to address. And I'm not saying we shouldn't address them. Like there are problems. Like I'm not trying to like say we need to sweep stuff under the rug and pretend like stuff doesn't exist because it very much does. I just think that some of the people that are being championed to the forefront, that they're not the ones who should be you know holding a flag up for the message because they're doing more harm than good. When black people get money, they move far away. Why? Because of behaviors. It has nothing to do with wanting to impress Caucasians. And it's just so many complex topics, right? We have standards too. We should all have standards. Absolutely, we should all have standards. And yeah, I mean, like you were talking about some stuff in your live yesterday that resonated with me. Like you were talking about how, sometimes the way we talk, people say things like, "Oh, you're being white" and stuff. You made a lot of good points. Social conditioning due to white. I always like can never pronounce this word. Hegemony. Is this hegemony? I might need a little hooked on phonics, phonetic spelling there, where even natural hair has black folks divided and secure facts. Black folks need to let that go and be free. Absolutely, absolutely. We can't even go to the park in our community, but we should not be specifically addressing black people. Never said that. Never said that we shouldn't address black people. I said that toxic ass mother truckers like Tommy can have a seat on a pile of hot bricks. I don't want to live around whispering white people, yet I value my life. I personally know 30 people who have been murdered by white people. So why not address that? Oh man, that's a lot. I'm sorry. That's a lot of loss, Stevie. Issues definitely need to be unpacked in our community. Absolutely. Unfortunately, the wrong people act as the voices, leaders, and authority. And that right there is exactly what I'm saying, Dee Dee. Bilkis did an excellent job with that. Issues definitely need to be unpacked in our community. Unfortunately, the wrong people act as the voices, the leaders, and the authority. And that's the problem that I have is that it's often the wrong voices, right? And it just does so much harm. Like, I still think, I mean, this is a touchy topic for a lot of people, but Kevin Samuels, like, can't stand his ass. I don't care that he's dead. Couldn't stand his ass. I didn't wish death upon him, but it was just like, it was just so reckless and so hateful, his message. And there were things that he could have said in a better way, but it was just like, it's a bunch of grifters. People get attracted to, shiny things. They're like the fucking magpies. Oh, this person has a lot of followers. This person, they're very convincing. Charismatic people, it's good to be charismatic, but sometimes charismatic people ain't saying much about anything. We got to really listen to the message that they're saying. And I mean, I've learned this lesson because I grew up in a Pentecostal church. Okay, Pentecostals are some of the most charismatic people you'll ever come across on the face of the earth. They can make the most boring thing seem exciting. They can reel you in. It happens in other areas as well. And so I've learned that lesson from escaping, that cults about how the way people word things, their intonation, the cadence of their voice, the mixture of touch and a word, like that shit is real. Like charisma is real. And sometimes people get sucked in by charisma and they're not stopping to ask, just like I was saying in the beginning of this video. Okay. And some people might not agree with me. Let me double back to that. I feel like though Monique had some trash things and she was a crappy mother to her first son, I feel that people swooped in like a bat out of hell and just totally ripped on Monique. And they did not give that energy to Cat. And I love Cat. He's one of my favorite comedians. But Cat came in with his golden nuggets and he could do no wrong. But people didn't want to hear when they said Cat had, physically abused or assaulted some of his exes. Nobody wanted to talk about that. But we all want to talk about how Monique was a shitty mother. And I just find that to be disingenuous. I find that to be, here we go again, whooping ass on the black woman. Monique is cringy when she talks about her daddy husband. It's gross. I can't stand it. But she still raised some good points. She still raised points that need to be paid attention to, but people would rather get lost in the fact that, she made these mistakes as a mom. Meanwhile, Cat Williams gets a full, clean bill, even though he has also made mistakes in his past. But no, we don't want to hear that because he's just, pumping out all the knowledge and golden nuggets that we need. That's bullshit. And I just sat back and I watched mad people this week rip on Monique. And yes, rightfully so, there's things that she needed to be called to the carpet for. But I also felt like Where was this energy for Cat Williams when unfavorable things about his past resurfaced? Most black people didn't want to hear that shit. They were like, nah, he's our savior right now. Cat's my uncle this week. That's bullshit. And I don't care who don't want, like, it's bullshit. Like, I sat there and I was like, Monique raised the flag, about some things, and it's getting overshadowed because she made some mistakes. What about the mistakes that Cat made? Does that mean his entire message from Shannon Sharp show should get thrown out the window? Because you know what I'm saying? Like, that should, it's annoying. And those self-appointed leaders and voices are only trying to enrich themselves, exploit their own people, and act like they're oppressors. Facts. That last part right there, I absolutely think that Tommy Sotomayor mirrors that of the oppressors. The way he like beats down on people verbally. I just there's nothing uplifting about his message at all. My sister's only like, people think tough love is verbal abuse, and I just don't buy that shit. That's a false message. Tough love is not synonymous to verbal abuse. Like, I just wish we would stop saying that, because first of all, ain't that lovey-dovey about the shit that he's saying, but it's just like, just because you talk to me crazy. Like, I remember one time back in the day, this is back when I used to go to church and stuff, and I used to like love listen to different like preachers. And I went to this one church, it was a big mega church, and the dude was preaching and he was like, yeah, because I'm from the hood. So, when God talks to me, he got to talk to me like I imagine him talking to me a certain way, because, that's just me. And he said, the man was like, God talked to him like, nigga, you need to do this, nigga, you need to do. And I was just like, it's funny, but it's also like, really? You know what I'm saying? So then, like, and this same person has also been accused of unsavory things, but it's just like, I don't think that we should normalize that. I don't think we should normalize, people talking to you crazy is because they care about you. Nah, if you talk crazy to me, like, I'm gonna talk crazy back to you, period. You might have some valid things to say, but that doesn't mean you get to verbally disrespect me. Fuck out of here. I don't do nothing. It just curls up. Nothing special about my hair, for real. It's boy and Manny. Bill Kiss, that part. I can't subscribe to that. Okay. I think black folks worry too much value and put too much emphasis about what folks outside of the community think. Absolutely. One reason we can't properly address, heal, and unpack our F-ish. Absolutely. Um, oh, none by white people. Okay. Yet people will follow Oprah, who has nothing to do with our community. But that's what I'm saying about, I was talking about Monique, that like Monique was trying to sound the alarm about Oprah and Tyler Perry, and it got totally overshadowed because people would rather dig into her, her business from back in the day, but whatever. Well, if it does not qualify, I watched Kendra G and The Delusion is Real. Who's Kendra G? Bilkis, I only worry about it because I want us to be represented better. It's not about impressing them more than having some self dignity and respect. Yes. Like, who the F is Ice Cube and all these other disconnected and out of touch black celebs and elites to think they can speak on behalf of black folks? Yeah. Well, that's the thing. And over the years, I feel like some of us have handed our power away to them, right? And we're realizing like, nah, you don't speak for me. You're about the coin. I don't like Oprah either. I used to. I was unpacking a bunch of stuff about Oprah. She was mean to Tony Braxton. She did a lot of stuff. What was it? Even with Monique, I think she like pulled like a really crazy stunt on her with her abuser. Here's the thing. Oprah reminds me of who is it? Oprah and Wendy Williams, although they're on two different levels financially, they remind me of each other. I used to love Wendy Williams. But as I watched her over the years, these are things I noticed that were never really confirmed. Wendy would often she would just worship white people. Like when she had people on her show, I would see how she behaves with certain white people versus the black people. And I took notes on that. I also noticed that when she had a hiatus, she was comfortable with a white man running her show. I just thought that was interesting. So white male took over her show. And I think Wendy and Oprah are people who often, even though they have so much, they feel threatened, especially by other black people. And I think some of this is similar to crabs in the barrel mentality, where like we don't want other people to like win because we think it's going to jeopardize what we have. And I mean, this is my theory. It's like very basic, but it's my theory of Oprah and Wendy because I've seen Wendy do like there's other examples, but it's been years since I've watched her show and stuff. And I used to watch her show religiously, and it would be some things about Oprah that I'm like, Oprah, you worship white. Wendy, you worship white people. Like, even though Wendy was married to a black man and has a black son, if y'all really paid attention, and I know some of y'all have seen this, and I still like Wendy, but Oprah really was low key like worship white people. And she favored them. Even I remember she had Trump on her show way before he became the president. And just the way she behaved with him was often different than I would see her behave with other black people that she invited to the show, or she would disrespect them. And similar things to like that what I discovered about Oprah from back in the day. But just my thoughts and observations. It comes down to us not wanting to be addressed, not wanting to be told the truth. Remember when Bill Cosby spoke on women have a bunch of kids a problem and black people got mad? And I that is so hard, right? Because yes, there are sometimes that the messages that we need to hear as a community we don't want to hear. Like even on Lipstick Alley, which like I feel is sometimes could be a good place, but sometimes it's very toxic to talk about certain things. It's very interesting gauging what upsets people. Like it's really interesting to see what upsets people. Um, and it's like, wow, why is this even an issue for you? It's possible that she did better as a mother because she had help. She learned to be better. Yeah. And I'm not saying her son is clearly still hurting. And I'm not trying to dismiss that situation, by any means. I just think that I just noticed a distinction between how people were willing to erase Kat's wrongs or pretend like they didn't exist versus Monique. Funny her son could not call Sydney daddy. Ugh, so gross. Because he has fathered her and his sons and her son. Sydney is problematic. Oh, he's horrible. He's. I think he's the main reason. I think he's the main issue. Agree and make sense. Unfortunately, there's a larger machine at play, funding some of the trash images of black folks being peddled into the media. Yeah, and some of our folks go right along with it. Preach it, sis. Sydney is nuts. He was talking crazy. Yeah, he gives me the heebie-jeebies. He's not addressing her son at all. But Monique is still doing it. She's still allowing something else, to take the place of parenting. It was her career before, and now it's some weird ass man. I'm a better mom this time around. It's because I have more help, more patience, and I learned from my mistakes with my first time being a mom. I can emphasize with her. And you know what? This is so beautiful, Manny. Thank you for sharing this because that's why I get mad because I'm like, yo, the lady agreed to the fact that she messed up. And she has other kids that it seems like she was different with. Like, it still sucks for her first son. It's not going to erase that trauma and that ruined bond, but like, it's so easy. Some of these same people going after Monique, they probably trash moms and then corrects things, but they got so much to say. So it's like, yo, like parenting is hard. I think if she was lying about it or she didn't own up to it, then it would have been different. But it's like, yo, she admitted to it. It's like, what do you want from this lady? We already know about Oprah and Tyler Perry. Watch Kendra G and you'll start to understand what men are saying. Based on what the women are saying. Based on what the women are saying. Daddies look after their fams. Monique hands the reins to Sydney, but had to get that loan from Kevin Hart. Ooh, because Daddy couldn't step up financially when she was blacklisted. Girl, exactly. What you doing, Daddy? You ain't making enough coins, but you out here trying to run the show. He's so sickening. I can't stand. Oh, it's just. And you know what, too? You know what's crazy? Lucas, I feel like doesn't Monique have a sexual abuse history? Like, why are you giving so much power to your partner after what you've been through? Like, I'm almost positive it was like incestuous too. Weirdos. Whenever you take money outside your community to bend over backwards for others, nah, you trash. Facts on facts. Maybe they liked her. Maybe they liked her. You talking about Monique or Oprah? I spend as much of my spare money supporting and buying black. Yes. It's not Just a thought. It's a lifestyle. I pay the black tax. Okay, we have to. Facts. Hey, lady, 14K Smooth Sparkle. Thanks for being here. I started side eyeing Oprah a while ago too. I def think she's out of touch. Yep, white identified and messy behind the scenes. That part. And you know, I like what you said the timing about a while ago because I wasn't always like that. I used to love Oprah, but then I started really like paying attention. I was like, yo, Oprah. I don't do Oprah or Wendell. Yeah, like I just peeped game and I was like, Wendy, this is bad. It's almost Wendy always gave off vibes that somebody was coming to steal something from her. Like she was always worried about a usurper. It was weird. The majority of people coming to Wendy's show did not like her. Yup, exactly. The truth upsets people. Any person that has had millions cross their hands in lump sums and end up broke perplexes me. I don't understand it either. I didn't even know until recently. They said Wendy saying she's broke. I'm like, girl, what? You had the top show for years. Like, what happened? Oprah and Tyler Perry epitomize respectability politics. Yes, they're both disingenuous as fuck. That right there, absolutely. Yes, they do. I absolutely agree. And that's the thing. I'm like, nah, they both cringe. I used to love Tyler Perry. I used to love Tyler Perry back in the day, and I was just like, Then I started really checking myself because I'm like, what are these like stereotypes and stuff that he's pushing and mm 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 mm. DL said all her kids. Oh, it definitely sucks for him. He has my sympathy because being a stepchild is hard, especially with the uncle to dad dynamic. I completely understand that. Yeah, mixed blended families is tough. Monique did the same kind of gaslighting and dismissiveness of her eldest son that she accused Oprah. Yes. Okay, so that right there, Bilkis is on it. That's where I was like, yo, the karma did get her good because she was sitting up there complaining about Tyler and Oprah. Okay, which is valid, but sweetie, you did the same thing to your son and you didn't make it right. So the universe did clap back at her. I do agree right there. That's spot on. Sydney put out the son's business about mental illness. What? What a trash man. Oh, he's so cringe. It all makes sense now. She dug deep with her role as Precious Mom. She did that role. That was from within. You know what's crazy, mixology? I never watched Precious because I'm worried that would be too triggering for me. And I remember people were saying Monique played herself. And I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story, and then I'm gonna read some comments and wrap up. So y'all remember when she won the Oscar? And before all the stuff went down with Monique, I'll never forget. I never watched Precious. Remember? So I remember it must have been the awards night. This is back when I used to actually watch like the shows and stuff. And I will never forget Monique won her Oscar, and it was almost like this glaze was over her, and she like floats out, to where like the paparazzi and the reporters are, and this white woman kept trying to like put the mic in her face and ask her questions, and then the way like her whole voice changed, like she totally changed her tone, and then people were trying to get questions from her, and she's like, no, yes, yes, you over here. And then she says to this woman, I think it was a woman, no, not you, because you like I don't remember exactly what she said, it was years ago. You ignored me on the way in here, remember? And it was just like there was a part of me that felt her why she like chose to do that, but those were the early signs to me that's like, oh, Monique, I think you've bitten off a bit more than you can chew, sweetheart. Like this is not how they conduct themselves here. Not that I care, but I just started to realize she started to play by her own rules then, and I just thought the shit was so funny because she was on the red carpet and she was just like school teachering it up, and I was like, oh, they gonna get you, girl. They gonna get you. But I don't know if y'all remember that joint was funny, and then not too long after that, she started having problems and stuff. Oprah is not white identified; she's rich identified. She's both. That's part of being white identified because the upper echelon rich white people. Okay, let me tell you, Oprah. Another story. I'm full of stories today. I swore years ago I heard this story about Oprah. I want to say she was like in Aspen or something or someplace, and she went into this expensive ass store. And I don't know who doesn't know who Oprah is because I don't even think it was another country. Like Aspen is in the States, and so she went there, and the owner of the store, didn't know who she was and was treating her poorly, as though she couldn't afford anything, and we know the woman's a billionaire. And the way she told the story was like, it wasn't just that, like, she obviously knows racism is real, but you can tell she was so out of touch. She didn't think it should be happening to her. And it's like, ma'am, this is what I'm talking about. This ties into what we were talking about earlier with decentering racist ass people, or what, specific groups of people think about you, because they're gonna think it regardless. Oprah has buku bucks, and here go this person is like, her money's still not good enough. And she thinks that money will save her from racism. Nah, maybe in some cases, but not forever, girl. um Law is facts, not about black or white, it's about rich and poor. Look at Beyonce, she's white now. Have you seen her? I mean, Beyonce, I think Beyonce gooping the kids, you know? Like, I think Beyonce, I mean, I loved the damn, what is that album? The one with like Formation and all that. Lemonade? I loved that album. I love the songs. But looking back, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, chat. I feel like Beyonce gooped the kids. Like, I feel like she is hopping on this like black power train. Like, I don't think it was this awakening she had per se. I think it was just like capitalizing and tapping into, what's important to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I like solidify this fan base? I don't know. I could be wrong. Back then I thought she was just like had a like resurgence of blackness, and I don't know. Her and Jay Z are very strategic, and so it just makes me question a lot of things, right? Like, now she's going back to country, and all this stuff. But Storm said that Storm be coming up with some crazy theories. He said that Beyonce is going back to doing all this extra stuff because Jay Z about to be pop, just like P Diddy got pop. But that's another topic. Mixology said, I'm glad I see famous people as just people, same with money and notoriety, nothing more, nothing less, just well known people who have more money and access. Facts. Once that hit me, it really just removes the veil for me. Capitalism def knows no bounds. Rich black elites will def exploit and F over other black folks. It's so true. I believe it was Gucci. Um, Oh, it was Gucci. Oh, the store. See, Didi, you know what I'm talking about. Isn't that crazy? The gag is black folks who think they're capitalists aren't. Can't be a capitalist when you wield no institutional power and can be commodified. Why? Listen, this is like, listen, this joint right here. Even when you're a black billionaire, let me read that one more time because it was just too good. The gag is black folks who think they're capitalists aren't. Can't be a capitalist when you wield no institutional power and can be commodified. You hear what she said? Even when you're a black billionaires. Okay, chow. Ooh, chow. Let me start that because that is just. This is the word of the Lord by Bilkis. I don't mess with Beyonce, never did. I think Beyonce is very talented. But yeah, it's a little sus sometimes. Beyonce's a superstar, but she and Jay-Z like the cosplay black activism. And that it took me a while. Like I really believe that now. I really think that that's just them tapping into that. You know what I'm saying? The only credit I'll give her is like I think she's a daughter of Oshun, and I mean that's African spirituality. But don't you have to be initiated? Like I'm pretty sure you have to be initiated and stuff. But child, who knows? Because they said they high level anyway. Nope, don't like Beyonce and the Beehive either. You know what? A lot of times, even when I like the artists, I can't stand their fans because they're just raging lunatics. Like some of the most annoying people are the fans, like the Beehive, the fucking what's Nicki Minaj, the Barbs, them the Avna sense. Like I don't, it's just crazy to me. And I'm not talking about regular people that say they like Nicki Minaj. I'm talking about those psycho ass people who are like willing to lose their jobs to do stupid shit on the internet. Like I don't know what's going on with our world. She was initiated into all sorts of things. Oh, she opened a housing complex for single mothers. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they do a lot of stuff. Like that's the thing is, it's never just one thing or the other. Like, but it doesn't mean people don't like like prey off of other people. So it's wild, y'all. But listen, I cannot believe I've been on here for almost 2 hours. Let me read this comment. They're both FOS. Okay, my brain. Why can't I think about what that is? JC whined about the term capitalism being a slur on Twitter. Oh my gosh, Spaces last year, but started ranting about at the Grammys about his wife being discriminated against. Listen, I'm so glad I don't watch the damn Grammys and all that stuff anymore. Oh, tax write off because um I I just can't take them seriously. When I heard that Jay-Z was complaining, first of all, didn't Beyonce win like a crazy amount of Grammys? Like, doesn't she have like over 20 Grammys or some shit? I'm just so sick and tired of some people. Like, just so annoying. So annoying. I can't. I just can't. It's like, and that's sometimes that's where you hear them bring up stuff when they want something. Like I remember Nicki Minaj, she didn't speak out on anything, any public issues. And then when she wanted to win an award one year, this the year where she came at what's good, Miley? It's like, girl, you corny. It's like, girl, you're just throwing a whole tantrum and then you inserting black issues in here. Go sit down. It's just ridiculous. Basically, give them all to her. She breathes, let her win. Yo, but you know what? I am one of these people who believe this. It might sound conspiracy theory like, but whatever. I do think that Beyonce and Jay Z have a lot of power in the industry, and I do think that they do stuff to people that come against them, or like I definitely believe some of that stuff. Like the more I pay attention to the way the industry works, it's like, nah, y'all doing some extra shamalama ding dong around here. That's why I say they cosplay activism when it suits their agenda and their brands. Yeah. When they have new projects to promote. It's true. It's so true. Y'all remember one year when Beyonce, I think it was the Lemonade album, and she decided to release it like overnight or something on to I don't know if it was like I don't remember where, maybe their own platform. And then they released it after that into stores and Target got mad and was like, no, we're not gonna carry the album because Beyonce wasn't fair in her release. Do you know that Target got hacked like really badly? Target got hacked, I would say within 48 hours, like something crazy happened to Target. And I was like, what? I don't know if people connecting the dots, but I did. Let someone else win. We can all okay, we can all win together. It doesn't have to be one sided. I don't know which award she's looking for. I'm not, it must be one area that she feels entitled to, but it's like, girl, sit down. Let somebody else win, like you just said. Manny, I can't stand people like that. They're just annoying. Um, Anywho, guys, I had something else I wanted to talk about, but I might save it for next time. I was going to talk about this little. Y'all know I like to do therapist blurbs. I saw something on Lipstick Alley that somebody wrote, and I wanted to do like wanted us to react to it, but I don't know if I'll have time for that. But do you guys? Before I read this last comment, did y'all watch Lover Stalker Killer on Netflix? Child. Bilkis said, I like that Texas Hold'em song, but Beyonce ain't reclaiming country when there are other black female country singers like Mickey Guyton doing the thing. Thank you. I don't like this narrative. Exactly. And then I heard K Michelle also did an album. She just Beyonce, I can't. Tell her work on her acting skills like Blue worked on her dancing, but no, they won't say it because Beyonce's got. She does need to work on her acting skills because that ain't it. Remember, you know what? I'm not trying to say she's phenomenal, but Aaliyah was like really good at, like I think Aaliyah was decent at acting. I'm trying to think what else. She was in a couple things, right? Um, that was so sad. I always get sad about Aaliyah. Can't erase other black women already. She and see, this is an old nasty piece of Oprah spirit. Exactly what Bilkis is saying. I feel like that's the Oprah spirit, trying to slowly erase people, so you could be the best and only one who ever did it. And that I don't like that. I don't, and that is definitely a white identified thing because it's giving Kardashian. You know how the Kardashians be stealing shit from black people, and then they be pretending like they're the ones who created it. The same way people think Blue can Y'all are savage right here to the comments. It's true though. I seen the videos. I love Aaliyah and Rihanna did a better job acting. Oh, what did Rihanna acting? Why can't I think of what? You know what? I was watching a clip of hers from SNL. Remember Shine Ronnie? Shine Ronnie. And I forgot all about that skit, and I was laughing so hard. I stay on Lipstick Alley. Me too, girl. That's where I find out about a lot of breaking news. Same and current events. Lipstick Alley is the tea. That's where I be getting some juicy stuff from. I'm like, and then I love hearing other people unpack it. If she was not Beyonce's daughter, people would tell the truth. It's true. That's true, Dee Dee. It's true. You could be mediocre and get away with it. Um, Truth be told, Beyonce is not a dancer. Ciara is a phenomenal dancer. Beyonce can dance. I'm not gonna take that away from her, but she can't touch Ciara. Her and Childish Gambino did a cute short film. Oh, I didn't know that. I did not have to watch it. They were going in on Childish Gambino the other day, honey. Um, Beyonce been doing the same. Y'all better leave Beyonce alone. Didi said Beyonce been doing the same movies for 30 years. Beyonce has to go 100 all the time. Yeah, she does. That's that Virgo. They say that she her work ethic is crazy. Like she it sounds like she's a perfectionist. That's how I found out about the beef sector. Oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. I was looking up mess on the Alexandra Rogers and Funky Dineva feud, and the rest is history. See, you okay? That means you're definitely old school in the thread, or like knowing of the thread, because I didn't even know about those two beefing. When I started reading that thread, I was reading about Justin J and what else? And Adrian and some Alexandra Rogers stuff. And then yeah, it's crazy. Like that joint is mad crazy. It was a lot of it was a lot that I would have missed. So you know how the first original thread was like some crazy like was it 1,000 or 10,000? It might have been 10,000 pages, something crazy. I don't remember, but they started changing it after that. Um, but I remember, I remember back in the day. It's morphed into so much. It's so different now. It's crazy. I'm scared for her neck. Who Beyonce? Oh, I searched for Lipstick Alley on YouTube for a year before I found out what it was. Yeah, Lipstick Alley. It's interesting. Sometimes I do get annoyed because I feel like there are some threads that feel a little whiny to me. Um, but other than that, I think it's a cool place to go and like see what what's going on in the world and what other black people are thinking. Unless they're in digital blackface, because there's definitely some of those people over there too. I wanted to know why Alex was always dragging Funky. Oh, see, you listen. You are like old head. Um, Lipstick Alley, because I didn't. The only thing that I know about with Alex was when him and Justin got into it. I'll never forget. Y'all remember that video? Pull up, ho. Yo, that was some good tea back when him and Justin was beefing. And then I always felt like Brother was like he was getting into beef with Justin, and it was those some of those were funny videos. But then I was always like, why are you? I don't even know if this person is really fighting with you. Like it just sounds like you're just hating. But then, child, oh look at what we have today. I am flattered they mentioned me on the alley. Yeah, I think they like you over there, Dee Dee. I'm pretty sure they do. Um, what in the world? During my freelance writing says, when I was researching for stories, LSA and Tumblr were go-to places for tea. That's how you know. See, you've always been up on tea, just like Bilkis knows about. I posted a story. That was my last video that I posted, and it was about the guy. What name? Crazy Days and Nights. It's another name. I can't think of it. But oh, NT lawyer, and she knew about that because she like listen, she knows like she's been writing and stuff for years, and I didn't know, and I was like, I thought that story would take off more, but people really don't know. I'm like, yo, this dude has been spilling tea for eons. Apparently, it has been spilling tea for eons. That's crazy. Okay, super super duper last story. Then I gotta go because it's supposed to be my day to have free time, but I don't want to overdo it. I gotta get home. Real quick, I had posted this story on my wall, And it was about I had just watched it from Paris Milan, and it was about this woman who owns a salon, and child, she was letting her 5 year old help her with bikini waxes on other grown ass women. Now, my energy is low right now, so I'm not gonna have the same energy as like when I just read like watched the video. But I was so mad. First of all, your 5 year old, she talking about some she trying to like pass on skills and whatever generational wealth. If you want your daughter to learn stuff, there's other things that she can have her learning in the shop. Under no circumstances she should be waxing the vages of grown ass women. Like that just I am so infuriated. Could you imagine a 5 year old? First of all, not only should that mom like get in trouble, but them nasty ass women who laid there to get their vages waxed by a 5 year old need to get punched in the motherfucking throat. Okay? Because that shit pisses me off. Like I am so mad right now. I'm so fucking mad. Like, are you kidding me? Why is this 5 year old waxing grown women's vaginas? You got to be kidding me. And no, I don't think she should lose her daughter. I mean, CFS is going to get involved, but yeah, they should, because what are you really doing, ma'am? What the fuck are you doing? And her dumbass posted it on social media. 24. That's 24 different vaginas that this girl then waxed. And matter of fact, it's probably more than just vaginas because it was Brazilian. They doing everything. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, I just don't understand some people. Their brains are rotting, and then they're posting this. And I'm glad she posted it because then now we know the effery she's doing. But it's like that just, to me, that even crosses almost sexual abuse territory. That even though somebody's not doing something to the child, the fact that her adult mother put her up to this, okay, and is bragging about how well she did, and then these grown ass, there's so many words I want to say right now, but I'm trying to keep it together. These grown ass nasty ass women laid there, like, I'm so angry, guys. I mean, I'm so angry right now. I actually thought, I was like, okay, I can talk about it now. It's the end of the live. I'm fucking pissed. This lady had her 5 year old doing this shit. Just like, there's just so many things that go through my mind. Why? Absolutely why? Let me read these comments because I can't. Just stupid. It's game night tonight, so I'm still in meeting. That's right. Listen, Manny, you got to take it because you know what game night, they next level after that. I saw that. So infuriating, Dee. So infuriating. I just could not believe what I was watching. I was like, please let this be fake. Did you see the pic with the legs in it? Dee, that's when I lost it. I fucking lost it. I said, these mother truckers. Like, I just want to, I'm just having violent thoughts right now. Because what adult woman is going to lay there, though? How do you not know? You had to know that it was a 5 year old doing this. I'm sure the woman thought she was proud and was like, my daughter's going to help with this today. She's going to help wax your cooch. Like, what the fuck? Seriously. Again, I hate to say this. And it was a black woman. This is a relevant topic because this is like, it was a black woman. She has her own business. She really thought she was doing something. Like, oh, God, I can't. That mother had the baby knack in the cart. Yes, I know what you're talking about. That story was crazy too. Naked in the cart. Yep, and that poor lady lost her job at Walmart. I hope she got a better job because she had sounded the alarm. And that woman, her response was to twerk. Are you fucking kidding me? You have your baby in a diaper, in a bare cart. First of all, not only is it cold, but that's nasty. I don't even like to touch the shopping cart. Sometimes I have to because they don't have the wipes. I don't even like, I think I have mild OCD. I don't even like touching shopping carts, y'all. So why would I put my baby in Pampers and diapers and sit them in? People are weird. That's what you do at home. They run around in their diapers. You don't put them in no damn cart. Oh my God. And he was old enough too. What the fuck was she thinking? She wasn't thinking at all. She wasn't thinking at all. And now she's gonna get the CPS is involved. Okay. She's probably gonna endanger her license because I'm pretty sure there's child labor laws too. 24? Why was your daughter doing 24 waxes? Like, I wouldn't even have my daughter wax a family member. Like, that's gross. I'm sorry, but this is very disturbing and triggering. Seriously, what the W, like, it would have been a hard no. And what the hell? For me, that's what I'm saying. These women are sick. You need your coochie shaved, waxed that bad that you can't have boundaries to be like, no, I don't feel comfortable. I don't think she should be doing this. I would have left. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And it's so sad because the pictures of the woman, she looked put together, she seemed like she's proud of her business. Like, what is the disconnect for some people? Like, what, like, how do you not know? And I'm just gonna let's unpack this and say maybe she's one of the lucky ones. Maybe there's no history of abuse in her family at all. Like, maybe she doesn't understand how this could be, like, you know like, constitutes as like sexual abuse or be or predatory. Like, just, I'm just trying to think of why would this woman feel so proud to do this and think that this is okay. Very disturbing in the dead of winter. She's dumb. But y'all, let me stop because I'm getting worked up and I gotta go. I gotta switch now with Jeff. Then I gotta go to the store. But yeah, that shit hurt my soul. Um, did none of the women think to tell that woman that they didn't feel comfortable? Exactly, with the small child waxing there. Okay, I question their judgment too. That's what I was saying. I question their judgment because I'm like, how could you feel comfortable with that? That's weird. That's so weird. She's tripping. Family business. What the heck? This thing keeps popping up. Um, it's one thing, but take the trash out, sweep the floor. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Give the girl some jobs around the shop so she can, like, learn by watching other things. No, ma'am. Glad I caught you live. Thank you, Bilkis. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Dee Dee Love. A content. Oh, good. I'm sure there's other ways that this woman's probably a good mom, but I don't feel bad for her. I really don't. I don't want her daughter to be removed indefinitely from her care, but she needs to learn a lesson. How do you not, like, guys, this is so disturbing. So disturbing. Oh my God. Like, why don't people think? It's just weird. Just absolutely weird. Thank y'all for being here. This was a great discussion. I really enjoyed talking to y'all. We talked about a lot of awesome things, and I'll be back sometime. I don't know when, but I'll be back. I'll try to pump out some videos. That's what I was thinking. I'm pretty sure that's considered pedo behavior. And see, that's what's sad. This is why we have to be informed, you know, as a community. Because if you don't know that, like, if the fact that this mom doesn't know that is weird, but as a customer, why don't you know that? Why don't you? There has to be an alarm bell ringing off saying, like, this isn't what I should be doing. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Okay, and she won a stupid prize. Idiot. I'm glad you're here too, Manny. I love y'all. Have a good evening. Thanks, Dee Dee. Are you going live later, Dee Dee? Can you see if I'm blocked under my? Oh, I will. You know what? I will. You shouldn't be. Let me tell you, it's really crazy because I remember. I'm gonna look right now. I'm gonna look right now because that is pissing me off. Actually, I'll never forget. Your stuff kept coming up and held, and so I added you. What was it? Community. Okay. Under the community section, I added you under. Um, there's a section that you call approve users. You're not there anymore. Okay, that's crazy. I have nothing to do with that. Let me see now. Let me see if you're under hidden. This is weird. What is going on? Sorry, guys. I'm still here. YouTube been acting up even before any of this happened. This is so weird. Oh shoot. I don't see you in here. You know what I'm gonna do? When I end this live, I'm gonna go to you know how there's like a couple sections that you can find black people? So it's in your under your settings, but then there's one in Google too. What the F is going on? YouTube, get it together. Um my other question is, and you don't have to, you can think about it or you can say no. um my other solution to it is, if it still acts up, do you mind if I make you a mod? Because that's another way to fix it, because they can't I don't know why they're targeting your account. But if I make you a mod, you shouldn't have any issues from your original account. So let me know. You can always write it under any of my videos or posts and let me know how you feel. You don't have to answer now. But child, Google, they've been targeting you for a while because you were definitely in that section where it says approved users. And I don't even know why they have that because usually you don't need to. But because you kept showing up in the held section, I was like, let me put her in here so that she don't have no issues. But I didn't know they were still acting up. Dum dums. Anyway, y'all, happy Friday. This is so fun. I don't even want to leave, but I'm bad. I need to go to the store and I need to go home. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Oh, Dee Dee's at work. Okay. I gotta catch up. I know Manny had some videos too. Well, smooches. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for being here with me. I had so much fun. I'll see you on another live. Love y'all. And I love that it was like all of us black women here. Just a good space for women. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.